And welcome to the Merry Boozers RC channel, guys. It's good to be here. Tonight is a special night. We have a guest waiting in the corner. It is welcome to Balsa. You know what I mean, guys? It's OMP Hobby with Buddy RC. They've got their new line of plug-and-play Balsa airplanes. I was just waiting for this day to finally happen, and it's finally here, guys. You can take a Balsa plane out of the box, have it put together and ready to go in less than 30 minutes. It is fantastic. Fantastic. So, without further ado, let's get TJ, the man himself from Buddy RC, on screen, and we're going to start going into some of these new airplanes. So what's up, TJ?
What's going on, guys? I'm sitting in the corner of my bedroom hiding out from everybody. It's where this is my safe spot.
So, tell the guys a little bit about who you are for the guys that don't know who you are, and who Buddy RC is.
So, for myself, I started out flying drones. It's kind of a bad word in some sectors of the hobby, but so it got my start there. Went into playing with foam board for a few years over at Flight Test. That was a lot of fun. Then I ended up moving down here to Columbus. When I got to Columbus, I worked in a little local hobby shop for a little bit. Buddy RC popped up saying, "Hey, we're looking for customer service." So I applied for customer service and went in for an interview, and he's like, "We know you. You want to do marketing?" I'm like, well, yeah, I would love to do marketing. So that's what I do now. But it's you said introduction to Balsa, which is actually really true. So I've always wanted to do Balsa. I've always wanted to build, and I never have. I went from drones to foam board, and that was pretty much it. So these planes literally were kind of my introduction to Balsa. And I've got a lot of friends. You've seen them. If you watch any of the videos, you've seen all the guys that I've kind of surrounded myself with. And those guys are the ones that teach me. And I've learned so much, and that's why I let them talk about the planes more so than me. I just try to make them look pretty.
Right.
And OMP's really doing a pretty good job of making that easy. Buddy RC, they've been around for, I think, 11 years now, roughly. Really big in the charger game, batteries. They've dabbled in other things, but the idea with Buddy RC and OMP is kind of like a sister company relationship, if you will. So it's a weird situation, but the idea is I do all the marketing under the Buddy RC name because it makes it easy. OMP, they're coming out with a lot of planes, a lot of products, but if I made videos only on that every day, people get bored. So it's been a good relationship, man. I really enjoy it, and it's bringing people like you into my life. And it's been a lot of fun.
It's funny. Me and TJ just started talking 3 weeks ago, and now we talk to each other like every day about what's going on. Every single day. Yeah, it's been crazy. So it's fun getting to meet new people in this hobby and become really good friends with them. And it's not a bad thing to become friends with somebody when they're getting this good a quality of product. I'm not just saying this because he's here, guys. These airplanes are fantastic, and you're going to see. We're going to play you some assembly video here in a minute of the Challenger up above us. These planes are fantastic quality, and I can't wait to get them out and fly them this week, and then of course show you guys. But yeah, it's fantastic. Couldn't have picked a better person to partner up with to show some of these new planes and helicopters.
Yeah, right. And that's a thing, man. I fly like little scale helicopters around the house and stuff, and these are my first kind of step into the 3D world, and I'm learning. Like these, really OMP, they're coming out with some really good stuff. I've said that already, but what I'm excited about is I don't have to keep saying it. Now, the planes and stuff are actually getting out in the hands of people and hearing the feedback already. Like I think I'm going to have a job for a while.
And speaking of planes getting out of the wild, I don't think I'm going to
unemployment office.
Yeah, speaking of planes getting out of the wild, a lot of our guys that are in here know Pay It Forward. He received his bighorn this weekend, got it all put together, and he messaged me and said, "Man, I'm so glad you talked me into one of these. This thing's fantastic for the price." And Lori had a picture at the beginning of him holding his, but They are fantastic. What are they covered in, Victor? These are, it's monocoat, or it's a type of monocoat. It may not be called that, but it is what's your standard stretchable material. It's more of like a PVC almost. Yeah, it's monocoat. What is it actually
I can't remember
called?
the brand. I know it's from Germany.
Oracoat. Okay, there you go.
Yep.
Oracoat. So it's what you're used to. You can repair this just like any other monocoat. Plain monocoat would actually stick to this. So that's what it's covered in. And you'll be seeing some more close-up shots of it here in a minute when we get to the build, guys. And I would say, if you have questions about the airplanes, let's hold some of those off until we start playing the video of the build. Save your questions, and then we're going to come back up here and we're going to answer all the questions we can. We're going to get the top shot going. We're going to go through these airplanes and let you look at them top to bottom like you want to see them, I know. But yeah, man, TJ, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. It's a dream come true, man. I used to watch this guy like every Wednesday on his latest videos, and now to be here talking to you, it's awesome, man.
Man, don't mind. That's why I got my hat on. Keep my head get too big.
So, what do you think? Should we let them see the build video for the Challenger now?
Man, I'm excited to watch it.
All right, guys. So, to prove to you how easy these airplanes are, literally, I took it out of the box, checked for damage, and then laid it out on the table, and that's where we're going to start this at. So, we're going to let this video play. This is going to be the full assembly of the Challenger, and when we get back, we're going to go through the Bighorn and the Challenger up here on the bench, and we're going to let you see any questions you want, get them answered. So, without further ado, let it roll. And then we are going to get to building. All right, first step we're going to do is get the tail put onto this airplane. Those of you that have built a balsa plane before might know this, but I'm going to take a little bit of the monocoat off right here around where my actual glue joint's going to be. This tail does screw on, but I'd feel more safe with knowing this is glued in here. So what we're going to do is go on and button this on here, and there's two pre-drilled holes, and we're going to go on and just put a screw in there just to hold while we got it. We're going to have to actually adjust before we really glue this in there. But for now, just to hold it, like I said. Whoop. All right, now that we've got those in there holding it, I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to take a marker or a pencil or whatever you want to use. And I'm going to mark this to where I know where the edge of both sides is. So now I can flip it back over. Pop these back out. And we can see where that tail is now. What I want to do is cut this about the width of this screwdriver inside out so that I have bare balsa. So when I glue this to this, it's bare balsa to bare balsa. So I'm going to set this on the table and we're going to cut this out. So the goal is to leave enough to where it tucks under the tail when we glue it, but far enough in to where it has a good surface to glue to. And the reason you leave a little bit on the outsides is so that as it gets hot out in the sun, that this has room to shrink and expand. And you don't have to be perfect. This is going to be underneath the airframe, as we said earlier. Now we just need to get it to pick and peel just enough to get a hold of it. Oops. 2 pieces of monocoat here. Actually, let me get all the way through them. Like that. Oh, blurry. All right, now that we've cut that out, there's another little hole right here hiding under the monocoat. It may be done on yours, it may not. I took just a nice little sharp file needle, pushed it in there, you know, cleaned up monocoat on both sides. That's gonna be for your tail wheel to go through. Your tail wheel assembly looks like this right here. Your tail wheel passes through this back hole, like so. And then you take that through that little hole you just poked. Sort of, kind of, there we go. And that goes in there like that. Now, we take and line everything up. Find our holes. There they are. So I got that first screw in just to kind of hold stuff for a second. I'm going to take some slow Zap CA and just put a few drops on here. This is going to help shore up the wood when I get it down in there and keep this screw from ever coming loose now. I got one another one. And that gets that. I will put the other screw in here. I'm gonna wait for just a minute until we glue the tail on though, because I think this one's not pre-drilled and I may have to drill that. All right, now, if you wanted to use an epoxy, you could have put an epoxy on before you put this on that was a slow curing. I'm gonna use just a little bit of thin CA. Come in from the side with my little schnooter and let that just soak down in there. just like that. Hit the other side. That thin CA will run all up in there though. No problem. Just like that. Now we're gonna let that set and stick, and then that will be good to go. All right, I picked it up for a second just to make sure the tail was straight. My tail wheel assembly is just a hair off kilter, but the tail itself is straight, which is all that matters. I'm gonna take and just do a small hole, pilot drilled, just like that. And take my last screw, same thing as before. I'm gonna put a little CA on it and put it in there. Now, if you don't wanna do the CA part, you don't have to. It's just something I like to do. It will make it very difficult to get these out in the future if you ever break it. So don't break it. But I also know that that screw is not gonna come out of there now. And see, the tail would be fine without gluing it. It's pretty stout, but I am gonna glue it. So that gets the bottom part put on. All right, so you've got your tail all glued on. Next step is to put our rudder on. Yours might be different. Mine does not have a hole here, but there is a little lip right below this control horn. That little lip, there should be a hole right here. That's where your rudder or your tail wheel is supposed to go. So all I'm gonna do is just make a hole for it real quick. No big deal. I'm gonna start a pilot right in the middle. And then I'm gonna take a drill bit and ever so slightly drill me a hole. Now we can test fit it to make sure that I made it big enough and deep enough, and I did. So now, slide this over here. What we gotta do is put this little piece, here, Lori's readjusting. We gotta put this little piece in here. And then put our hinge tabs in, just like so. Nothing to it, right there. Now, we just make sure everything fits how we want it right now before we glue. So these are CA wicking hinges. Laura, if you could tilt the camera up just a little bit. So we're all good to go right now. I'm gonna take my thin CA. I'm gonna get this turned over just enough to where I can get in there to that hinge. And give it a shot of CA. Same thing on the other hinge. And this will get in there. I can feel it already stiffening up, so wiggle it a little bit. Now I'm gonna do the other side. Let's see here before you can see it. Just like that. Now we're gonna let that set for a few minutes. Make sure it's still got play in it, and then that's glued on. All right, on to the landing gear. We're gonna get these loosened up out of there. They are going into a metal blind nut on the back side. Take our wheels. They only go one way, as you can see. Optional step, but if you got it, a little bit of blue Loctite. Dab will do ya. All right, we're gonna start now getting the wings put on. Magnetic trays or magnetic hatches all over this airplane. These magnets are super duper strong too. So no worries about losing these hatches in flight. We're gonna slide our carbon spar up through this front hole. Get our wing halves. Pass our servo extension wire through. Let's get the other wing going too. Whoop. There we go. And then the plane comes with these 2 nylon bolts. Lori, could you zoom in just a little bit? No? Okay. Okay. Plane comes with these 2 nylon bolts. That just finger tighten on the inside. Try and pick it up here so I can show you this. All right, so I've fired up the model. I added my own receiver. Guys, you're gonna have to pick whatever you want, but you can see that it's on right now and that servo is moving. This means that all of my servo horns are centered at this point. If you do have one that's off, you need to make sure it's perfectly up and down on the tail. And now you're gonna take your control rods and we want to make this to where the elevator is flat. All right, here. So if you want to grab you a straight edge to look, something like this, to where you know that that is straight. And now, if we were to hold this, very awkward to try and show this on camera, but I can see that I need to go out just a little bit. So I'm going to take and loosen this. If you needed it to go in, you would tighten it. I did 3 turns. I'm gonna go on and just snap one of these in to make this easier to film. On the money. So now we can snap that in. They're tight. Man, they are really tight. Woo! Help if I put it on the right way. It only goes one direction. There we go. Perfect. Now we need to do the same thing on the other side for the rudder. Almost there. Almost. Oh. Ta-da! All right, let's get the ailerons on. We're still powered up. I'm gonna take this loose because the balls are on the back side and I just don't know if I'd ever get that snapped in there. It's easy enough to just pull the servo horn off. Yeah, I don't think I'd ever got that on there with it on the airplane. There we go. I'm going to look down the end of the wing and make sure the aileron is straight to the best of my ability. It needs to go out just a little bit. So I'm going to do one full turn, clip it in, take another look. Looks perfectly straight to me. Put that screw back in, and then we just got to do it on the other side. And guys, I have left the prop off this whole time. The propeller is definitely the last thing you want to do on your airplane. I'm going to get that other one snapped on. It goes on just like this side. Our last thing we're going to talk about here, the airplane's pretty much assembled. Props off, I've got my radio bound up, everything's centered. So now we've got to talk about dual rates before we button this up. So I have 100% ailerons, and these are some fast servos on this plane. They didn't cheap out on those. So you can see that's me really rocking them. That's 100% throw. So I went 100 with 20% expo, 75, 20% expo, and 50, 20% expo. For you guys that are using this more as a trainer, you're probably gonna want those ailerons at 50 because these are some serious ailerons on this airplane. On the elevator, I have 90, which is gonna be way too much unless you're doing loops and crazy stuff. 75 and 50. 20% expo all the way around, and the rudder was a little ridiculous, so I went on ahead and toned it down to an 80% throw. Now this is all in Spectrum. If you're running Tyrannus or a different radio brand, you know, just kind of play that by ear. But I'm gonna start here for my initial flights. I did check, the motor is going the right direction, and everything should be ready to go. So I'm gonna put the prop on, and this bad boy is ready to get out to the field. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, it's good. Here we go.
Must have leaned too far.
So guys, that was the build video on the Challenger. So I hope y'all really enjoy it. We will re-release that video later in the week as its own standalone video for guys that are getting them and want to be able to follow along on the assembly. Bighorn video, we're going to do the assembly tomorrow at 6 o'clock. You'll be able to tune in live for that. So is there any questions on some of these airplanes, guys? Here's your chance. So what I might do in the meantime is get Lori to put us on a top shot. TJ's going to stay here with us and answer any questions you guys have. And I'm going to start showing you up close the Bighorn and some of its features. And let's dive into these airplanes, right?
Sounds good. I put it in the chat. I'm going to try to answer questions. That's what we got you for.
Well, I'm here, yes. So I guess I'll start on the Bighorn by opening the top hatch. And these magnets you guys used are great on these. So magnetic hatches, guys.
Yeah. That Bighorn looks so good, man.
It does. I love the colors. That's where I mounted my receiver. Plenty of room in there. I love the wing bolt design on this airplane too. How they go on with finger screws.
Yeah.
So you just screw these on right here, guys. Just finger screws. It's very easy. And then your battery bay, give you a shot in there. What power options are these available in, Buddy RC?
Right now it's just the single one. What is it, the 1100 kV motor, 12.65 prop, I believe. Man, I should have brought some notes.
Right?
But yeah, so it's just the one.
There we go.
But
Was in the wrong place.
they're playing with some different things. I know at the factory they're actually testing one in a 6S version. So that's one thing I like about the factory is they take feedback really well. They take suggestions really well, and for them to implement changes, it happens really fast.
Right.
So that's one of the big things is when people are out flying these. You know, one of the things that the guys that have been flying them here around me, they like running it on 4S.
Yeah.
And it's been holding up pretty good. We have had at least one instance of it not liking 4S and just kind of petering out, having to land and let the ESC cool down some. But prop down a little bit and it's doing fine.
And these are 40 amp ESCs in these airplanes, correct?
Yes, yeah. So the Bighorn and the Challenger have the same powertrain in both.
So what I would tell guys that want to run 4S, switch the ESC to a 50 and you'll be able to fly all day, no problems. Or maybe in the future they're going to come with them. I do like also the control throws on, let me pull this around here. So the ailerons can actually be full length as far as your aileron and flap, or you can split them. Like I have mine set up right now to where these are just flaps. But it's as easy as reprogramming them in my radio to where these could be ailerons also, because they are hinged to where they can go up and down, guys. You don't have to do that though. Like I said, I have mine programmed right now to where these are just flaps and it's just standard ailerons. Eventually I'm going to do crow on the wing, which is where your aileron goes up and your flap goes down, and that acts as like a spoiler. So it's nice that it comes. Very easy to do it though. You've got your two wires come out. I didn't even put extensions on mine. I just did right into the receiver. Yes, ma'am, Lori.
Yeah, and I think that's what Donnie had. So in the in the flight video that we did, Donnie had it set up where it was full aileron, but he's a crazy 3D pilot anyway.
So guys are wanting to know if the landing gear area is reinforced. I can't tell through the monocoat, but it's pretty stiff right in there.
Honestly, I'm not sure on the Bighorn. I haven't gotten down into it.
I haven't cut the monocoat off.
If it's anything like they did with the Edge, yeah. So with the Edge, I know it is. So the Edge, they have kind of aluminum blocks put in for the landing gear. So I would assume that they didn't skimp out on the Bighorn. But I can't say.
And I haven't opened mine up to look.
Something to do at the shop.
I'm just trying to give guys a good look at the airplane too.
Does it have options for floats?
I don't believe floats are available yet for this airplane, correct?
That is the correct word to use. They are not available yet. I will say that they are going to. It is something that they are working on, and I can't wait for that because we have a perfect place where we go fly to do that with.
And guys, if you haven't seen the price of this yet, you're going to be blown away. Pre-order is available down in the description right now if you wanted to check it out. This Bighorn is what, $249, I think, off the top of my head.
$249. I believe it's $249 now. It's one of those things where it's kind of introductory price.
Right.
So eventually, the price should be $279.
Right.
I think.
But guys,
that's a marketing ploy. Let's get a bunch of airplanes out into the public for a cheaper price.
But I mean, let's
get people talking about.
Let's be honest, guys. If you want one of these, $249, you get the motor, the ESC, all the servos, and it's all installed for you. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, go out and build an ugly stick right now and see what it's going to cost you with buying it all yourself. Which, speaking of ugly sticks, let me pull that plane over here for a second. It's not an ugly stick, but it reminds me of one. Oh, and I guess to answer another question, guys, so I've got the plane as it came out of the box. I did not put the stickers on it, but it does come with this sheet of stickers if you do choose to use them. I had a couple guys asking me about this, and I wanted to go on and show that the stickers that they're showing in the pictures do not come pre-applied on the airplane. So if you want this, you can definitely add it. And let me pull.
Yeah, they have a lot of stickers that come with them too.
Oops. So I'm going to grab the Challenger now. It does have a Papa Boozer sticker in the middle of the wing. What's a good airplane without a Papa Boozer sticker on it, of course? So this one's battery bay.
I need the sticker.
Same thing, battery bay, magnetic. And these magnets, I'm telling you, these are some strong magnets that come in this airplane. And then my receiver is mounted in here. just to give you guys a look in there. 2200 3-cell battery. All kinds of room to fit it in there. I guarantee you could get a 3000 in here, no problem actually. Then plenty of room to put your receiver. Once again, magnetic. And guys, like I said, oops, put the wrong hatch on. By the way, you can put the hatches in the wrong spot. That one goes back here. There we go.
And if you fly fast enough, they might lose
So,
one.
and like I said, is the thing coming up? No. Okay, so the motor comes pre-installed, guys. It's there. Big ol' honker.
Yeah.
ESC, servos. Flip it over here, show you the bottom of the wing. You do have to put your servo, what do you call these things? Push rods on, but what's that? That ain't no big deal. They're just snap on. No big deal. I did set up flaperons on this airplane. Very easy to do with a 6-channel receiver. You just plug one into the aileron port and one into your auxiliary port where your flaps would normally go, and then set up your wing as a 2 aileron, and then do flaperons. So we're going to see how this does with flaps. It's a sweet looking airplane though. I really, really dig it. And this one's $199. Pre-order's not available right at this moment, but coming. Links down below. So you had any questions come up for you yet, TJ?
Looks like one guy here, NH Jim. He's asking if the blue prop is an OMP exclusive. Actually, it is an ELO prop, so EOLO, made by Sunny Sky. Sunny Sky Motors. So for those that don't know, OMP, so Ohio Model Products, have been around for a while. I don't know exactly how long. So I started working for OMP and Buddy RC in May of this year, and OMP was actually bought by Sunny Sky late 2019. I think it was like August 2019, and so that's what it is. Sunny Sky pretty much owns the company, and that is a Sunny Sky motor. It'll be a Sunny Sky ESC propeller, so that's kind of the drivetrain behind it.
And they're a really good size airplane too. So I'd call this like a 40 size in the old style days. I wouldn't call it quite a 60 size airplane, but it really reminds me of everything that we used to learn on. This airplane in particular looks like the old school plane everybody had to learn on. And it's a good looking paint job too. I mean, it's sharp. I'm going to try not to bonk this into everything.
Yeah.
There's no mistaking that.
Yeah, it's one thing they've really done a good job on is kind of color selection, but also the schemes and designs, man. When we first got them and opened them up, it kind of blew us away on
And these are foam, but they are squishy foam. See a lot of these coming as hard foam nowadays, so it's so nice to see one with squishy tires right out the box.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here, Lori. Can we go back to the front for a minute? I think we've kind of showed them. If guys have more questions as we go, we can definitely do that. I guess real quick, since she has that top shot, let's show them the M2 real quick too. So we've got the Balsa planes. Lori, let's go back to the top for just a second. Oh, yep, thanks. So this is the new M2 V2 helicopter. You guys that want to see some flying footage, I know a guy that flew one this week on his channel. He's down here right now. Go check out OMP. Link is in the description for his channel also, guys. Definitely check him out. But they are making some killer helicopters. I haven't had one in a long time, and I am super stoked about this thing because I opened it up and went, wow. Direct drive, no gears.
Dude, yeah.
They sound insane. Look at that little brushless motor.
Dude, when I first fired that thing up, I took it outside. So I started working at OMP, and he brought me this helicopter. I'm like, man, this is beautiful and terrifying. I was like, okay, I'm gonna figure it out and put it in normal mode. That's what I like about it is it's full 3D capable, but with normal mode and the stabilization turned on, you can kind of walk into it. And dude, so that's where I started. But even then, it kind of intimidated me. But after a few times flying it, now I'm actually flipping it over and I've dumped it in the grass a few times and it's holding up pretty good. But to watch this thing in the hands of the guys that really know how to fly it,
Well, somebody was asking what size battery it is, but I'm not able to get it out at the moment.
the
Trying to.
853.
It comes with it, actually. It's a funny thing.
Yeah, if you flip the helicopter over, there's a little tab that if you
Oh,
pull
this
on
little
it,
tab
it'll
right here?
pop
This little
that out.
metal one?
Yep, pull the little metal tab and the whole tray will slide out.
What? Don't lie to me. What?
I swear.
That is
I wouldn't do it.
slick. Okay, I was trying to figure out how to take that out. Look at that. The little carbon tray. You can see I haven't actually played with mine any yet, but there's the battery that comes with it. What? That is awesome.
Mind blown.
Mind blown.
Dennis Farley asked, when will the Challenger be available to pre-order? Dennis, I am working on getting that done. I'm hoping tomorrow to actually have that available.
What? My mind is blown. Sorry. That was cool.
No, don't feel bad. It took me a couple days to figure it out too. I was trying to figure out how to get the Velcro in and out. It was a mess.
And all this is aluminum up here, guys. I mean, everything. Even the servos are cased in aluminum. So, M2, V2 for this one, and then the other one is the Explorer, correct? Yep.
Yeah, and I've got a video that kind of goes into detail on the differences between the two. Kind of big overall is the Explorer was meant to be cheaper, so there's more carbon composite pieces. Like you're talking about the aluminum casing on the servos. One big change with the Explorer is those are a carbon composite plastic. Blade clips, some of the head pieces are going to be carbon composite. So it's mainly just switching out some of that aluminum for cheaper pieces just to make it more affordable. And both helicopters, man, they sell out pretty much as soon as we get them.
See if I can get these planes oriented such that I can sit behind both of them here. But yeah, guys, and they're all, the planes are both available in more colors too. Well, I can get a wing in there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. Get them here beside each other. And they're pretty good size airplanes, guys. I don't know if that's something like that. Can I put my head in between them? So, yeah, the Bighorn comes in this green color, a blue, and a red. And the Challenger comes in a blue, a red, and I forgot the other one.
Yep.
Yellow?
Blue, red, and yellow. No, blue and red.
Anyway, there's multiple colors of each. What were you saying, TJ?
Yeah, well, that's what I was trying to remember. I couldn't remember if it was 3 colors for the Challenger, but I think there's just 2. The one you're showing there, and then the blue one that we fly in the
now,
videos.
on the Bighorn, like I said, there are 3 colors. But yeah, I couldn't remember on this one if there's 3 also. Yeah, I'm seeing all the guys in the comments. They're digging this. Are there any different heli bodies that fit on that? Not that I know of.
Officially, OMP hasn't released anything other than kind of the stock ones. The Explorer has a different kind of design on it than the M2. I know there's kind of aftermarket ones made by other companies, but I'm not really sure what they are, honestly.
I'm just super excited. You know, I've been saying for a while, if somebody does plug and play Balsa at a reasonable price, they're going to sell as fast as they can build them. And guys, I mean, I'm not just saying this because they're sitting here in front of me. I'm saying this because these are awesome. If you've been on the fence about getting into a Balsa airplane, there is no better way than this right here. Especially if you just want to get your feet wet, $199. get an Explorer, and go out and have a wonderful time. It's going to be the best pattern flying sport acrobatic airplane you'll ever fly. You're not going to do 3D with this one. Now, if you want to do 3D, the Bighorn will do it all day long. But
now we can actually talk about that Bighorn you have right now is the only one we have a listing for on the store. There is another version of the Bighorn coming that does not have flaps, so it's only aileron. Think of it kind of like the wings that are on the Challenger now being on the Bighorn. So that one, obviously, the price is going to be a little bit less. I'm not sure what that's going to be. It's a case of things are getting pushed out so fast that I am having trouble keeping up with all the details. But I know that when the flat Bighorn gets here, those other ones are on the container as well. So OMP is trying to kind of cater to a wide range of audience. And then once we kind of find who is excited about these planes, then they're going to start narrowing it down more. So it's one of those, I guess you could call it market research to see how these do, because really nobody's doing it. So you got to see if it's actually going to work. And if, I know we're excited about it, and to see how everybody else reacts once it gets out into the public, man. I'm excited
Papa
about
is lying
that.
a little bit, guys. The flight videos will not be out this week of these two. The build videos will be out this week for these two airplanes. I'm hoping to have the flight videos out next week for these two airplanes. I haven't flown them yet. I got them out of the box this week, got them put together for you for tonight, so I am going to try and do that. Can you set up the Bighorn with full span ailerons? Yes, you can. I have mine set up that way. I have them set up with full span ailerons, flaps, and crow all in the same wing. So all you need is a 7-channel receiver to make that happen. And a little bit of know-how with programming. What is the wingspan on the Challenger? I do not remember. Do you? I got to take 46 inches?
46. So, yeah, 46 on the Challenger and 49 on the Bighorn.
Balsa is expensive now. That is inexpensive for a PNP. Yes, it is, Joseph. Sorry, hard to read it from across the room. Yeah, I've been telling TJ for a week, how did they do it? What kind of deal did they make to get Balsa plug and play this cheap? Like I said, if you have been looking for a Balsa plane, this is why I've been so excited. For the price, this is amazing. This is a great looking airplane too. The Bighorn, when you actually see it in person, that is one good looking airplane. And I love the green. I love the green. It doesn't do it justice on this camera, guys. It just really pops when you see it in person. What battery do these planes use? Both of these right now are set up for 3S 2200s. Either airplane will easily accommodate a 4000. I have put them in here. So you will not have a problem getting a 4000. I think the Challenger on a 4000, you're going to probably fly 10 to 12 minutes on it. Realistically. I mean, you're going to fly a long flight on it.
Yeah.
Talk of any larger versions of the Bighorn. I can't say anything on that.
I can't really say. I will. Let's just say that we're pushing. So there's a lot of people that really want a bigger Bighorn. And like I said earlier, the factory really does a good job on taking advice and listening to, pushing like that. So if you want to hold your breath, you can hold your breath. But I don't know how long something like that may be. So if that does come along, I mean, it honestly could be a year.
Depends
better,
how fast all you buy these Balsa planes right now.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That is exactly.
It depends on how well these do.
The community. Yeah, dude, that is dead on. How the community reacts when these actually hit the market, man. That's going to determine.
These are both beautiful old school planes. I agree completely, David. That was what really I fell in love with about these. Both of these planes look like an airplane that I grew up flying in the 90s when Dad put a controller in my hand when I was 13. I had planes that looked just like this. This really reminds me, I had a plane called a Hot Rod back then, and it really reminds me of that airplane, and I think it's going to fly just like it did, and it was sweet. And I have seen somebody fly this on for sale, and if you were to go over to Buddy's channel, you may see that, although not recommended on factory ESC. It can be done. But you may want to make some vent holes in the back of the fuselage, or you might blow the hatches out of the thing as it cooks along at like 110 miles an hour. It was cooking in that shot.
Yeah, right.
How much do they weigh? No batteries. Ooh, I don't have the scale with me right now. They're very light airplanes, though. Like, very light. You'd be surprised how light.
Yeah, it's something I don't know either.
If you had a foam plane this size, it wouldn't be this light. This is very, very light. Because you got to think, guys, this is a hollow wing. You know, each of these is hollow, and all you've got in there is the covering in between them. That's how they've done it for years. Let's talk spare parts for a second. Guys haven't really asked, but are you going to sell, spare wing halves?
So the easy answer on that is yes. The difficult answer on that is, honestly, their parts aren't on their way to me. So I have airplanes coming, but parts aren't. So the actual plan is, we got some planes set aside that we're going to make
some ARF
sure that we have parts, and then that way we're going to kind of break those. We're actually going to break those up, so we have spare parts set up, because it's one of those things where, like the M2 helicopter, we got a bunch of M2s in, parts were a little bit delayed coming in. And it's one of those things. I like a company that can step back and say, hey, we screwed up.
Right.
Let's fix that. And so with the M2, that was one of the issues was, man, the helicopters came so fast, but parts were, weeks delayed. And when people get these things and they break them, it's like, okay, I want to go back flying. And that was not fun. So with the airplanes, we're gonna make sure that we have that kind of set aside. And then spare parts and things will be coming. We're also talking about kind of, I don't really want to say like hop-up parts, but, different aftermarket pieces. I know, for instance, the Edge that we don't have tonight, the landing gear is carbon fiber, and people have talked about how some people actually don't like the carbon fiber, so we're going to offer, not carbon fiber. So it's suggestions like that from the community that's, floats for the Bighorn. I want floats. Okay, let's make it happen. And, having a full-on parts selection for these planes, and with everything else, the better they sell, the more.
Well, there you go, Michael Reichka. There we go. I screw his name up all the time. I'm sorry, Michael. Reichka. He just ordered him a blue Bighorn, is what he's saying. So there you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we'd love to hear it, guys. And like I said, pay it forward. I'm not the only one out here. Pay it forward, spend his own money, and got one. And if you want to know about one from a guy that just got one, ask him too. I'm sure he'll tell you all about it. He has been just blowing me up, loving this airplane. So, and I have seen a couple guys on YouTube or Facebook that have them and have flown them now too. So they're getting out there slowly but surely. Yeah, I kind of would compare the Bighorn, for the guys watching our community, like the E-Flight Timber X. It's very close to the same size, and it's going to fly very similar, but it's lighter. It's a lot lighter, actually. And that makes a huge difference. So, it's different, though. I will say, if you tumble this one, it's going to be a little harder to repair than a foam one. But they fly great. Don't crash too hard when you hit it.
They've actually taken some. Yeah, they've taken some dumps.
Now the carbon reinforced ones,
but the one we're actually flying has a. Yeah, those do really good.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. You can say what you were trying to say.
Oh, no. That's pretty much it. The ones that we have, the landing gear is not the factory or the production landing gear, so it's a lot softer. So that was the biggest issue we were having. You landed a little hard, and the landing gear just flops out on you. So that was the first thing that they changed before they went to production, was a kind of a little bit stiffer landing gear to
Hey,
keep that
welcome
from
to
happening.
the Boozer Barracks, Gooniac. Good to have you. We had 2 new members tonight. Nice. Man, I really do thank you for taking the time out. Guys that don't know it, TJ's got a few kids, so I really do thank you taking the time out to be here with us on a Sunday night, especially a first school night of the year.
Brother,
That's
that's what we're here for, man.
So
Yeah, right.
anyway, guys, y'all have any other questions for TJ and anything about the planes you want to know about? I'm hoping to see an extra, or an edge, not an extra, an edge in the future maybe. Down the road.
Man, I want to get one to you. If they haven't
Right.
sent one to you,
So
we're gonna
hopefully
push
that and maybe some other stuff.
it. I'll send the factory this video
Right.
and say, yeah, so I'll send the factory this video and be like, hey, we need send him an edge.
So yeah,
We gotta
to
do another
let you
video.
guys know, can we talk about the edge any? Price or anything? I know you put it in some of your videos already.
Brother, we can talk about
Anything? So
yeah, anything. Let's go for it. And if we can't, then I can just I can just kind of step back and say, I
can
don't
you
know.
get a picture of it, Lori? I'm going to get Lori to pull a picture of it up so we can show the guys. So the Edge is quite a bit bigger airplane. The carbon reinforced one is going to be $499 ready to go out of the box, right? The rumor.
That's the rumor. So that's one of the things that, yeah, well, so what it is the factory sends us pricing, and kind of we sit down and go over it and then factor in shipping and what the thing is, we don't just want to sell these on OMP's website. I mean, that sounds great, but for us, it's sending these planes out to dealers and then, in turn, local hobby shops, and getting these planes out kind of in the world instead of just in our little house. So
There you go.
having the price right to be able to do that is really paramount.
Can I still hear?
But the current plan is $499 for the plug and play 60-inch.
So Lori's got it up on the screen right now. This is just the kit, guys. This is not the full production airplane. You can definitely go in and check out the videos that TJ has right now currently on these on Buddy RC. Once again, I did link Buddy RC down in the comments section of this video, or not comment, but the description of this video. If you haven't subscribed to him, definitely check him out. He's doing 2 or 3 very, very high quality videos a week. He does air-to-air shots of these planes that are awesome. They were dunking the tail of this Edge down in the cornfield and in the water and everywhere else. So yeah, definitely check it out. You can bring it back to us, Lori. There you go. Yeah, and I'm digging the paint job on that airplane too. Where in Ohio is Ohio Model Products?
Man, so that
Sorry,
one,
not
there's
Columbus. There you go.
Columbus.
So what were you
No,
about to say?
Yeah. Oh, just how the edges, man. They're something else. So there's 2 Kevlar reinforced, and then there's 2 that are Balsa. And just the schemes on those, again, man, they're nailing it. That green one, when we first opened it, like I said, I hadn't flown Balsa. I mean, I have now, but when we first opened it, I had never flown it, and I'd never even thought about flying something like that Edge. And we opened it up, and I said, "That's mine." Nobody else is taking that. That one's staying here, and they're absolutely gorgeous airplanes. Dan, other buddy there at work, he does sales. He built the I don't know what, I can't remember which one it is. I have to pull up a picture. I'll send it to you. Let you look at it. But it's a different scheme that, I mean, it rivals the green one. Like they're really doing an awesome job with it.
Oh yeah, I love them. Y'all don't really have a bad looking plane.
Air Marshal, that is. Yeah, Air Marshal 349. That is an A.
Oh, did we lose him?
Oh, I think he's frozen.
Oh, TJ is frozen right now. We'll try and get him back, guys. That is the ARF, not the plug and play. The plug and play hasn't officially been released yet. Oh, I saw him move for a second. There, is he back?
Hang on.
All right, Lori's working to get him back.
There we go. Let me get back over.
There we go. We lost him for a second, but he's back. So you can go back to what you were saying. Did we lose him
I was
again?
answering the 349 being an ARF kit.
Oh, there we go. You also have a 60 size yak by the look of it. David Snyder's saying it's amazing.
Yeah.
Trying to read the comments, make sure we're not missing a question too. Scuffing can sometimes pierce the packing tape.
Yeah, there's a 16-inch S-Lock and a 16-inch yak.
Yeah, they've got some really sweet planes. I'm fingers crossed, and I've seen several people ask the question already. Warbirds in the future. Fingers crossed, guys. I'm hoping. We need some more Balsa Warbirds in the future. Fingers crossed. They can't tell us nothing yet, but
You're not wrong at all.
I'm over here shouting it every day to them, so don't worry.
Well, it's one of those things. So it actually happened, I guess, not too long ago, where they announced an airplane and they were like, yeah, we're going to do this. And then that plane didn't come around, mainly because when the test models were made, they didn't fly good enough. And so OMP Hobby was just like, it's enough, we're just going to scrap it. So they just kind of tossed the entire thing. And so that's one of the cool things I like about them, is they're not scared to say, yeah, it didn't work, and walk away. So it's one of those, they'll see what action, and then, man, you guys will be one of the first ones to know.
Sweet. And we will definitely make sure you guys know whenever he tells us stuff that I'm allowed to tell you. Of course.
Here's a good one. Yeah. 33, he says, aren't these the planes that Nitro planes used to have back in the day? That's awesome. It just made me think about this, the word Nitro. So the Challenger, we actually have some ARF Nitro Challengers on the way. So they'll be ready for, and haven't really marketed those yet because we didn't know until like 2 weeks ago.
Gav Street, you need to do some Balsa EDF jets. Fingers crossed, Gavin. Fingers crossed.
Right?
Hold your breath. Who knows? Who knows? I'd love to see it too, though. Yeah,
It's going to be a fun year.
I'm super excited to see somebody, like I said, doing Balsa PNP. There's a lot of guys like me that got lazy, and I love my foamies. I still love a Balsa plane, but man, being able to take this out of the box and have all the servos, the ESC, the motor, all of it done. Everything was hinged. Everything except for the rudder was hinged on this airplane already. Dude, it was nothing to put this thing together and go out and fly it. And the price, I couldn't have bought the kit and the components for what it's put together for. I really couldn't have. Oh, maybe if I would have gone Banggood special everything, but man, these are good quality servos in this airplane, it's a good quality ESC, and it's a good quality motor in this airplane. So for the price that this is put together, it's awesome. I agree. Jordan says they need a nice...
Hey, here's a question for
What's
you,
that?
man. I was going to say, Papa Boozer asked this question. It'd be a good one for you to answer. Says, so if you put a hole in the covering, what do you use to repair it?
I'm pretty sure you could use Monocoat to fix this. I have. Actually, I can answer that. I have. I poked a hole in this one. So I poked a hole in that one, putting it together. It was my fault. I dropped a screwdriver through it. My bad. So I did actually repair the Challenger. Heck, I'll just show you. Oops, bonk. I'm going to have to repair it again now. Let's see here.
Really?
I just banged it into the wall, so it wouldn't surprise me. I damage them more in the shop than I damage them flying them. Ever. There you go.
That's
Do you
awesome.
see that, guys? That little square right there? It's hard to see it. It's just a piece of Monocoat hot ironed on. Nothing fancy about it, but Monocoat sticks right to it. No problem. And I'm going to try and break this again before I set it down, because I'm attached to everything in here. Good news is, if it's made out of balsa, we can fix it here.
So yeah, Monocoat works fine to
There you
fix it, guys. Or if you have Ultra Coat, or it's Ultra Coat, isn't it? That's what it's actually covered in. Or a coat. That's what it's called. Clear tape works great also. Yes, Victor, you are correct. I just kind of like to have it be the color of the airplane. You can hardly see that little ding on there. But yes, Scotch tape, I've seen guys fix it with that. Clear packing tape always worked the best for me if you were just going to tape a hole. But yeah. Do you sell the green that comes on this on a roll? Like a patch material? Some places offer it, you know, a roll of the patch material.
No,
Not yet.
not yet. Not yet, but that's a very, very good question. So that's
I
that's something I'm
definitely.
gonna bring up
You know,
tomorrow.
it doesn't have to be a full roll of it or nothing, but it'd be nice to have, you know, a 2-foot piece,
Yeah.
you know, that wide for $1 or $2, you know, and
Yeah.
or even include it.
Well, it shouldn't be hard. I mean, just having the factory send some, or like you just were going to say,
Right.
included in
Oh,
the kit.
I have several
That's,
balsa planes.
Probably
Yeah,
a
I have
really
several
good
balsa
advice.
planes that came with a little patch like that. That'd be awesome if this came with a little patch material.
Yep.
Yep.
We'll grab the
Hanger
phone and make a note.
rash. It works well. It does. I like to put it on there. You should reverse the ailerons on a balsa plane so you can make us a good video on how to repair one. You never know. I might break one. We'll have to make you a good video on repairing them. I almost did. With all the balsa we're doing lately, eventually I'm going to have to dunk one of these and fix it. Yeah, there's somebody else in there. It'd be nice to have a little bit of that patch material in the kit. Yep.
Yeah. I just sent a message
There
to the factory.
It can't
staff
cost,
there.
you know, $1 to throw a little roll of that in there. And
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, just a little patch, and I would argue whatever color it is, if it's got two main colors or three, of having a small patch for each of those, man, that would go a long way.
so, and if you want to see either of these airplanes flying, guys, he does have videos of both the Bighorn and the Challenger flying on Buddy RC right now. So definitely check that out. Just takes a little bit of experience, glue, and extra balsa to fix them. That's the truth. That's the darn truth. The biggest thing when you're repairing a balsa plane is take your time. Don't be in a rush. You can fix stuff to where you can't even tell it was broken if you take your time. It's not as bad as everybody makes it out to. A lot of guys, oh, it's balsa, it's going to be impossible to fix it. No, it's really not. You just got to think about it. Make sure, you know, if you break a part, see if you can get that part out, measure it out, cut out that same piece again. You know, as long as you've got the wing and you can kind of piece it back together to cut new pieces of balsa out, that wing, if it were destroyed, we could rebuild it. And then recover it, and you wouldn't hardly even be able to tell. As long as you have the same color, of course. But, yeah. Don't be afraid of them, guys. Especially at this price, give it a try. Pre-order special sold out.
Yeah, and I think that right there is what I like about it, man. Is at that price, you can try it. And for the Bighorn at that price, man, it's not only you can try it, it's a solid airplane. I've seen guys fly this absolutely, but for people, I mean, like myself, flying that, I was nervous just because I've flown nothing but foamies. So my first balsa, I'm in my head, it's going, man, if it hits the ground, I'm gonna explode it. I don't want to do that. And once I got it up, it was so easy, and I really love where they're going with all this.
Are the special 25 pre-orders already sold out for the ones that were getting shipped direct?
I believe they are. I'm not 100% sure.
I think you're correct.
I know that there's quite a few people who've already got them. I'll double check. But I know that they are. I believe they are. I'm not 100% sure. I think you're correct. I know that there's quite a few people who've already got them. I'll double check. But I know that there's quite a few people who've already got them. I'll double Yeah, I'll double check in the morning and find out for
If
sure.
not, what are we looking at before Bighorns actually start shipping here in the States? For the guys that pre-order them tonight.
Full disclosure, I think it is September 28th. We're supposed to receive them right now. So still a few
Challengers
weeks
will
out.
be in that shipment too, probably.
Right. Yeah. So in that shipment, it'll be a little bit of everything. So it's a giant container. So it'll have the edges, the Challenger, Bighorn, M2s, like a lot of
Awesome.
stuff.
Yeah, guys. So, like I said, if you are interested, the links are down in the description. If you want to check them out, the Bighorn is available for pre-order right now. If you wanted to get on that list of the ones coming in, and the Challenger, he said that the pre-order will be up later this week at some point, maybe tomorrow, maybe a little later. I'll make sure to make a post on the Mary Boozer page. I'll get TJ to let me know, hey, the pre-order's up, and I'll make sure to let everybody know when it does go live. So,
Yep. Yeah. We'll let everybody know here before we let anybody else know. So we'll post it on Mary Boozer, give everybody a chance to jump on it before we share it out.
are they made in the USA? No, they are not, Paul.
Nope.
Otherwise, they'd probably be $1,000. Not.
Yeah.
No offense on that, but if you're in this hobby, they're not made in the United States, really. Unfortunately. That's just how it is nowadays, though. Different rookie, but a buddy of mine. Alright, somebody was flying a logo branded OMP Hobby 200 at the field today. I don't know what that means. Is he talking about this one?
So Mikado is a different brand, but they're very similar.
You know, the other really cool thing for guys looking for one of these helicopters, the case that it comes in is amazing. I know this is silly to say this, but the case for the helicopter, for carrying it out to the field, look at this. I don't.
Dude, it looks like a DJI case.
Oh, Lori's
like
gonna
where
go talk.
DJI puts all their drones and
Dude,
stuff.
look at
in.
this case, guys. What did I do wrong? I don't have it in there, right? No. The prop. There we go. Yeah, look at that. No way to damage this helicopter right now. And this is what it comes in out of the box. They just slid the dust cover over. Magnetic. Bam. Look at that. Love it. They should all come in these. This is an awesome idea. Now get me one of those for my airplane.
Yeah. Speaking of helicopters, I know there's something else that we haven't talked to. Actually, I don't really even know about. But the M1 helicopter factory's been leaking. Like they actually released information for the China market, but it's a smaller version. So you got the M2. The M1's actually smaller. I'm hoping they fully release it before indoor flying. But there's not really any information out there yet. I shared a couple pictures, but I can't wait to get that one. That's going to be fun to fly around the house.
I saw those pictures earlier this week, too, on the OMP Facebook page. I believe it was.
Yeah. David, yeah, it is. It's pretty much what they look like, those cases, straight out of the DJI.
Trying to read the comments too right now. So, Papa, I want to see if I can find one of the pictures of the old hot rod we had. That was a great plane. I'm telling you, Dad, this plane looks just like the old. I mean, it's not. It's got a little bit of differences to it, but it reminds me a lot of that airplane. And it was one of our favorite flying airplanes. Straight wing, tail dragger. I think that one was a tricycle gear instead of a tail dragger. But that particular style of airplane, if you've ever had an ugly stick or an ultra stick or a hot rod or any of those older planes, that's what that plane's going to fly like. And they were fantastic, easy landers. I've never flown one with flaps, so I'm a little interested to see what flaperons are going to do on that airplane. How much slower it's going to go. Have y'all tried flaps on it yet?
I don't believe so. I know when we was out at the field, they didn't have anything.
Will there be a store in Columbus where they can pick up at?
So Harry, we honestly do local pickups, so we don't really have a storefront. Don't really plan on a storefront. Uh, there are kind of local hobby shops around that will be carrying these planes. Hobbyland in Clintonville specifically, they're talking about carrying kind of the entire line. But if they don't have it or they don't plan on doing that, pretty much if you order it, you put a note in, say, I'm coming to pick it up, and show up before 4 o'clock, or just give us a call, and we'll have it for you at the front.
I'm just going to give the guys another look of it as we're talking here. You got anything else you need to add from right now, TJ? Oh, there we go.
About it, really.
Hey, I just want to make sure, we answer all the guys' questions tonight while we have you here.
Yeah.
Guys, you can always reach out to TJ through the Buddy RC Facebooks, YouTube. He answers fast, man. Monday through Friday, he answers fast. He's got to play with his kids on the weekend. You got to give him a break. But he's been super fast to answer any questions that I've thrown at him. So, yeah, I'm sure he'd be glad to help you through your purchase.
Yep. Yeah, my personal Facebook, man, I open it up. Anybody wants to send a message, just send the friend request on there. I don't try to hide away. My email address, it doesn't matter.
RC.
That's what I'm here
Dave's
for.
RC, the Jerry Springer of RC world. Comes in here. I came in to leave my thumbs down. Now I'm out of here. He's joking. He's a good friend of ours, but I love it.
Robert, as far as Canada goes, I think we do ship to Canada. Dealer-wise, I'm not sure what we have dealer-wise in Canada. I know we have a couple hundred dealers. I'll take a look and see what I can find out. Pay it forward. Any plans to bring models to sell or give away at live events? That is a big 10-4. So that definitely will happen. It's actually been happening. Eddie, he's our guy there at the shop. He's been going to, quite a few events here lately. And while we haven't had the planes to sell or give away, he has been bringing the planes out and really letting the community kind of take them up and fly them. So it's been a fun event season so far for him, what little bit we've had.
All right, Victor, Lori's going to get you that link to his Facebook page here in just a second to OMP, or to Buddy RC, sorry, both maybe. She's working on it now though. Is there going to be an Invictus 360 RC model coming out? I don't know what that is. I'm not very good at the helicopter stuff yet. Anything on that one, TJ? Not a clue.
Not a clue.
Wish I knew.
Not a clue.
Alright, remember guys, if you like what you see, hit that thumbs up. Agreed. Well, Papa's saying it right. Hit that thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. And I can't say it enough, guys. If you like these models and you want to keep up to date, of course, follow me. But go hit Buddy RC up. Give them a subscribe. They're linked down in the description. They're putting out content like crazy. There you go. Lori just dropped his Facebook also for Buddy RC and for OMP Models Product. Or it's OMP Model, or no, excuse me, Ohio Model Products. There we go. So,
in a little side track about that. So, Ohio Model Product, OMP, stood for Ohio Model Planes and Ohio Model Products. We started pushing to only be Ohio Model Products, mainly because it opens the door for more than just airplanes and helicopters. Just saying
and
that.
I know that you guys also carry some drone stuff, right?
So Buddy RC actually got out of, or they were getting out of drone stuff until they hired me. And then with my past history and stuff, they decided, we're going to jump back into it. So we pulled in kind of all the TBS stuff. I've got a lot of things coming that, if they're not already on the store, they'll be there soon. But yeah, kind of growing Buddy RC more into a one-stop shop. So it'll take a little bit to get there, but it will happen.
So, well, man, I think I've said my piece for the night. I really do appreciate you being here. It's a Sunday night. I want you to go spend some of it with your family. I really, really do appreciate you being here. Guys, if you want one, check it out. Pre-order available, like we said, on the Bighorn. Pre-order available coming on the Challenger. We're going to have the build video tomorrow, 6 p.m. If you're in the area, come check it out. You can hang out with us down in the comment section because we're going to premiere it for you guys. And you can see a more up-close assembly of the Bighorn for you guys wanting to drool over it. And then we're also going to be flying them. So hopefully not this week, but the week after, I'm planning on doing flight videos of both of them. I might do a maiden, or I may just skip the maiden and go straight for performance flights. We'll see how the flying actually goes between now and then. It has been raining like crazy here in Florida, so we have to kind of dodge that and get out there to fly them. So I'm super excited. There you go. Sub to Buddy RC. There you go. Do it. Do it.
That's awesome, man. Dude, I really appreciate you having me. This is it's a lot of fun. I get excited just talking about these things and getting, kind of feeling from, how excited you get about them. So I'm looking forward to the videos. I'll be here tomorrow to watch the build.
He's definitely been feeling how excited I get over this. It's like, oh, man, I got it. Check out. I got the wings put on. Here, look at it. And he's like, oh, my gosh.
Dude, I love it.
I've been blowing him up all week with him putting them together.
I can't wait. I really am. I'm excited. Can't wait for everything to start coming out and getting live, and we're going to share you out as much as I can. And yeah, it's nice. It's nice to have other people talking about these things instead of just me acting like everybody's thinking, well, who's this yahoo talking about an airplane? It's nice to have people that actually know what they're talking about.
And guys, if you like this and you know somebody that's interested in a plug-and-play balsa plane for a low price, tell your buddies right now. We're trying to get the word out about these guys. So definitely let your friends know. That's how they grow.
Yeah, that right there is what we're here for, man. Getting the names out, getting people coming around, keeping an eye out for what we're putting out to get excited about it. I mean, that really. If
you want to see a bigger Bighorn, and you want to see Warbirds, and you want to see EDF jets like all these guys are asking for, the only way to do it is if we help them grow and we buy their stuff. And that's how these companies keep going. And I can tell you, after actually having them here in person, these are fantastic models, guys. You're going to love these. Anybody that gets one, you will not be disappointed. The build quality is absolutely fantastic on these airplanes. So I don't see any part where these were cheaped out on, or they're great. I really will stand by it. If you get one of these, you're going to love it. So, man, I think we're going to do this. I can ramble all night. Like I said, TJ needs to go spend some time with his kids tonight, guys. Any last words? Shh.
No, that's about it, brother. Appreciate you having me on. Really, really appreciate your time and how excited you are for these things.
Guys, like I said, be looking forward this week. We've got 3 videos already scheduled if you wanted to go check them out. Build videos, flight videos, that kind of stuff. And it's only a matter of time, and you'll be seeing these guys flying here on the channel. It's going to be sweet. I really look forward to seeing where our partnership goes in the future, and what you guys are going to bring to the market in the future. I'm super stoked for it. So without further ado, we're going to let you guys go. 5,
Good night.
4, 3, 2, 1. Bye, guys. Get out there and fly with your friends.